Today we're doing a little bit of FPP. We're doing a quick little candy corn for Halloween. Here what we're doing is we're just going to quickly fold over many of these lines. As you see, I don't use a ruler to fold. I actually use my fingernails, put them on the line, and press the paper up. Right. Once we've done a couple of lines, so we've moved a little bit ahead of our fabrics, I then grab the fabric and line it all up. Right. Make sure it covers the space. Make sure it all lines up. And also roughly 1/4 of an inch over. It doesn't have to get exact science. It's not entered into a competition. It does not matter. As long as there's enough fabric to keep it together once it's washed, that's fine. So here I'm using the light board. See, I'm just making sure that underneath the fabric covers completely and still gives me at least 1/4 of an inch around that section. So I've sewn across, and now I'm just going to finger press it. Normally I would iron, but it's a bit hard to do that when you've got a video. And I'm just going to clean up all my edges. So what I do is I go cut them all off and make sure that they're, again, at least 1/4 of an inch on the edges. Go in fast mode. This fast in real life, but unfortunately not. Okay, so this is the second piece of orange, which is indicated by little squares in the section. And I'm just, again, making sure it's lined up. So at least it's a little bit neat. And make sure it covers that section perfectly. Alright, now I'm just going to line up, sew up, and keep going. Right, here we go. And now the next colour we're going to use is white. Alright, so I clean up my edges again. Alright, so forth, so forth. And fold a few more lines ahead and clean up. It's always good to do that, otherwise you're having to cut through a lot of fabrics all at once at the end, which you'll see I actually did that with one side. Okay, so here's the white. Right, that clearly covers because it's quite big. And then we have the magical sew line. Then we clean up and we just repeat the process. Right, there we go. Make sure it's all covered. Use the light box. Yep, we're all good. Again, sew. And magic, done. Ha! So much fun. I just wish you could just cover your hand over it. It would happen like that every time, but alas, it's not the way. And now we are doing the outside fabric. So I've chosen to do all black on the outside because, you know, it makes the rest of the colours stand out and pop. And we're just going to finger press along, and then we're going to go along all the way around. Now, there is a side sections that I could have done a different colour, but black's the way to go. All right. Just going to clean that all up. Yep, that's all good because we know that's only a small section. Here we go. Now, here I actually do the second cut instead of the first cut, as you see, just to make sure I've got a little bit more than having to tiny pieces, a lot of tiny pieces that aren't usable. Right, so this covers by the looks of things. Yep, all good. Right. Now we've got that big triangle there. So I'm going to get out a bigger piece of black. There we go. Full of cottons as always. Okay, line it up on the board. And it clearly covers. Right. Covers it quite a bit. We're all good. Lots of room. Oh, bring it back. Okay, that line's sewn. More finger pressing. You actually can get a little roller thing that you can use for finger pressing, because if you do quite a few of these, your finger and your fingernails start to actually ache. That's not a good idea. Yep, also notice I don't use a ruler. Once you've done it quite a bit, you start to learn what 1/4 of an inch looks like. And you just go as close as you can. Right, so a bit more neatening up. Probably should change a blade, but we're not going to do that. Right. This was a tricky corner, this one, because I wasn't sure if I had covered the black underneath enough. Yep, there we go. That's all covering nicely. And off to sew. Right. That candy corn is shaping up to be quite neat. and will look great on the side of the Halloween bags or trick-or-treat bags if you're in the USA. All right, heating up. One more little corner. Yep, this triangle should do nicely. See, so we don't have to get rid of all our scraps. See the bigger scraps there? Plenty. It was plenty to cover that corner. There we go. Get off those little loose cottons everywhere. We've got these two sides to do. So we'll just use the black fabric that I've previously cut the strips, and there's my messy side. So I'll neaten that up. There we go. Nicely line it up. There we go. So those lines, and yeah, I shouldn't use white, but you know, again, this is to be used probably one day a year. I may use them as shopping bags afterwards, you know. All right, just make my work a little bit lighter by just cutting that piece off, so I don't have to carry a long piece to the sewing machine again. Lining up. That's our final section to sew. And there you go. Yep, a few loose cottons, get them off. All right, cut around. Obviously, when I go and sew the numerous candy corns together, I will neaten them up later with a ruler. Like, follow, and share for more.